Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of English for Beginners, the podcast. I am Jasmine, and I am so happy to be here with you today to talk about something we all do every single day.
And I am Mark. We are very excited to help you learn the English words for your daily life. Today, we are talking about daily routines. These are the things you do from the moment you open your eyes in the morning until you go to sleep at night.
That's right, Mark. Many English learners find it hard to describe their day because some of the words are very similar. For example, do you know the difference between waking up and getting up?
That is a very good question, Jasmine. Even though they sound similar, they are actually two different actions. Today, we will explain everything very slowly and simply so our beginner listeners can understand every word.
Before we explain the words, let's listen to a short dialogue. In this story, two friends are talking about their morning. Listen carefully to how they describe their actions.
I love stories. Let's hear the dialogue first. Remember, listeners, just focus on the sounds of the words.
Mark, you look very tired today. Did you have a late night yesterday?
Yes, I did, Jasmine. I watched a very long movie. It finished at midnight, but I did not go to sleep until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that is very late. I always go to bed at 10:30. If I stay up late, I feel very tired the next day. How did you feel when you woke up?
I felt terrible. My alarm made a loud noise at 7:30. I woke up, but I did not want to move. I stayed in bed for 15 minutes.
So you woke up at 7:30, but what time did you get up?
I got up at 7:45. I finally stood up and went to the bathroom. I washed my face with cold water to help me feel awake.
That is a good idea. Cold water is very helpful. After I get up, I always make my bed. It makes my room look very tidy.
You are very organized, Jasmine. I usually make my bed later. This morning, I was in a hurry. I had a quick shower, put on my clothes, and made some tea.
I also did some housework this morning. I cleaned the kitchen and the living room before I went out to do the shopping.
Wow, you did a lot of work. I need to do the shopping too. I need to buy milk, bread, and some apples.
I went to the supermarket at 10 o'clock. It was very busy. I don't like shopping when there are too many people.
I agree. It makes me feel stressed. Well, now we are both here at the podcast, and we can relax while we teach our listeners.
That was a great dialogue. Now, Mark, let's explain those important phrases to our friends listening to English for Beginners, the podcast. Let's start with wake up and get up.
Okay, let's look at wake up first. To wake up means to stop sleeping. You open your eyes. You are no longer in a dream. You are conscious.
Exactly. You might wake up because of the sun, or because a bird is singing outside your window, or because your phone is making a beep beep sound.
But when you wake up, you are still lying down. You are under the warm blanket. Your body is still in the bed. This is waking up.
Now, what about get up? This is the next step. To get up means to leave the bed. You sit up, you put your feet on the floor, and you stand up.
So, the order is first you wake up, then you get up. For example, I wake up at 7 o'clock, but I'm lazy, so I don't get up until 7:30.
I am the same. I like to lie in bed and think about my day for a few minutes. It is very peaceful. Mark, do you check your phone when you wake up?
Sometimes I do, but I try not to. I like to stretch my arms and legs first. It helps my body wake up properly.
That is a healthy habit. Now, let's talk about the next part of the routine. Once we are out of bed, we usually go to the bathroom to wash. We use two phrases, take a shower or have a shower.
This is a great example of how English can be a little confusing. Take a shower and have a shower mean the same thing.
That's right. In some places like England, people often say have a shower. In other places like the United States, people often say take a shower. You can use either one.
When you have a shower, you stand under the water. You use soap to clean your skin and shampoo to wash your hair. It makes you feel very fresh.
I prefer a morning shower because the water helps me wake up. but some people like an evening shower to wash away the dirt of the day.
And what about having a bath? That's different, isn't it?
Yes, a bath is very different. When you have a bath, you sit in a big tub of warm water. You don't stand up, you sit and relax.
Baths are much slower than showers. A shower is for when you're in a hurry. A bath is for when you want to rest. I love a warm bath on a cold winter night.
Me too. I sometimes add bubbles to the water to make it more fun. It smells so good.
So, to review for our listeners, take a shower is standing under falling water. Have a bath is sitting in a tub of water. Simple, right?
Very simple. Now let's move on to the next phrase, make your bed. Mark, why do we say make the bed? Are we building a bed with wood and tools?
No, definitely not. Make your bed just means to fix the blankets and the pillows so the bed looks neat.
I think make your bed is a very important habit. If you make your bed every morning, you have already finished your first task of the day. It makes you feel successful.
I agree. It only takes 2 minutes, but the room looks much better. If the bed is messy, the whole room feels messy.
Now let's talk about doing the housework. This is a big phrase that covers many small jobs.
Housework includes things like washing the dishes, sweeping the floor, cleaning the windows, and taking out the trash. Jasmine, do you like doing housework?
To be honest, Mark, I don't really like it, but I like having a clean house. I usually listen to music while I clean. It makes the time go faster.
That is a good trick. I usually do my housework on Saturday mornings. I clean the kitchen and then I vacuum the rugs.
Vacuum is a great word. It's the machine that sucks up the dust from the floor. So, doing the housework means keeping your home clean and nice.
Speaking of doing things, what about doing the shopping? Why don't we say making the shopping?
That is a common mistake for beginners. In English, we always use the verb do with shopping. I need to do the shopping.
And doing the shopping usually means going to the supermarket to buy food and things for the house, like soap or toilet paper.
Exactly. If you go to a store to buy a new dress or a pair of shoes, you might just say, I am going shopping. But for the regular supermarket trip, we say, do the shopping.
I do the shopping once a week. I make a list on my phone so I don't forget anything. I always buy eggs, milk, bread, and lots of fruit.
I do the shopping on Tuesdays because the supermarket is not very busy then. I hate waiting in long lines at the checkout.
Me too. It is so much better when the shop is quiet. Now, Jasmine, let's talk about the end of the day. There's a phrase we used in the dialogue, have a late night.
Yes, to have a late night means you go to bed much later than usual. Maybe you are at a party, or you are working hard, or you are watching a movie.
If I have a late night, I always regret it the next morning. My head feels heavy and I want to drink a lot of coffee.
It's okay to have a late night sometimes, especially on the weekend, but it's not good to do it every day. Your body needs rest to stay healthy.
That brings us to our final 2 phrases, go to bed and go to sleep. These are also different, just like wake up and get up.
You are right, Mark. Go to bed is the physical action. You walk to your bedroom, you put on your pajamas, and you get into the bed.
But you might not be sleeping yet. You might be reading a book or talking to your partner. You are in bed, but you are not asleep.
Exactly. Then, when you turn off the light and close your eyes, you try to go to sleep. This is when your brain stops thinking and you begin to rest.
So I can say, I went to bed at 10 o'clock, but I didn't go to sleep until 11 o'clock because I was thinking about my English lesson.
That is a perfect sentence. It shows the difference clearly. Go to bed is about the place. Go to sleep is about the state of your body.
I think our listeners are doing a great job learning these phrases. Let's practice some of them together. I will say a sentence, and Jasmine, you can repeat it for the listeners.
That sounds like a plan. Go ahead, Mark.
I wake up at 6, but I get up at 6:30.
I wake up at 6, but I get up at 6:30. Now you try, listeners.
I take a shower every morning.
I take a shower every morning.
I make my bed before I go to work.
I make my bed before I go to work.
I do the shopping on Saturdays.
I do the shopping on Saturdays.
I go to bed at 11 and I go to sleep immediately.
I go to bed at 11 and I go to sleep immediately.
Excellent. Practicing these sentences out loud is the best way to remember them.
It really is. Now let's talk a little bit about why these routines are so important for learning English.
When you have a routine, you can practice the same words every day.
That is so true. Every morning when you open your eyes, you can say to yourself, I am waking up. When you stand up, you can say, I am getting up.
This is what we call active learning. You are connecting the English words to your real life. You aren't just reading a book, you are living the language.
And if you forget a word, don't worry. You can always listen to English for Beginners, the podcast again. Repetition is your best friend when you are a beginner.
We want all our listeners to feel confident. English is not a race. You don't have to be the fastest. You just have to keep moving.
One small step every day. One new word every day. That is how you become fluent.
Jasmine, do you have any other tips for our listeners about their daily routines?
I think it is helpful to write down your routine in English. Just a few simple sentences in a notebook. 7 o'clock, wake up. 7:15, get up. 7:20, have a shower.
That is a great idea. Writing helps your brain remember the spelling of the words, and it's very satisfying to see your day written in another language.
It makes you feel like an international person.
It really does. Well, Jasmine, we have covered a lot of ground today. We talked about waking up, getting up, showering, bathing, making the bed, housework, shopping, and going to sleep.
We certainly did. It's a full day of English. I hope our listeners feel more comfortable describing their own routines now.
I hope so too. Remember, friends, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are just proof that you are trying.
Exactly. Even we make mistakes sometimes, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep talking and keep listening.
Thank you so much for joining us today on English for Beginners, the podcast. It has been a pleasure teaching you.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We are so proud of the progress you are making. Keep practicing every day.
We will be back soon with more lessons, more stories, and more simple English just for you.
Until then, have a wonderful day, and don't have a late night.
Haha, yes. Go to bed early and get some good sleep.
Goodbye for now, everyone.
Goodbye. See you in the next episode.